Hello and good day to you, my beautiful friends. I do hope you are well. Welcome to episode N64 of Cross Button VR, our journey into the world of PSVR2. I'm your host, Laurie, and it is an honour to be joined by one of the most dramatically returning influencers in the metaverse. It's Alex, and we're joined by Reese. Alex, how are you doing?
Hello. It's
He's
nice to be back.
It's very exciting.
Well, I say back, I'm not back. I'm just stepping in
Not back
for
for
a
good.
little bendicle. Not quite back for good, but I'll hopefully be back for good very soon.
Yeah, because obviously you've divorced Ben now, your podcast husband. So we're just kind of, this is like when you share the kids.
Yeah, ultimately.
Yeah.
I mean,
working out
Ben
who gets
heard the rumor
custody.
you were going to. Yeah, Ben heard the rumor that you were going to call it the N64 episode, and you done a runner because we all know how much Ben hates N64. So
Yeah, well, I've got to mark the occasion somehow.
Yeah.
Obviously,
I heard the little throw in there.
the Eggman64 on Twitter. That's where you can find me. I mean, it was the best. It was the best console, wasn't it? Ever.
certainly the
controller.
one I remember having the most excitement for.
Best console, best controller,
Let's not talk about the controller.
best graphics.
With the booster
Just
pack.
all round best.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the booster pack. Yeah, whack that in, get some good graphics.
No,
What a
it's
classic.
Oh yeah, what a random thing that was.
Yeah,
Rumble pack.
yeah, that was
Rumble
it. You had to
pack,
buy
yeah,
that
and all the
collection,
things.
didn't you? Oh, mate,
Memory
it's taking me
packs,
back.
rumble packs, transfer packs, loads of packs you could pack into the back of that controller.
You could buy the packs to put in the carry pack to take it all to your friend's house. Yeah, that was an experience to live through right there.
Yeah. No, we'll maybe do a whole spin-off N64 episode, but that's not the time for it now because we've got a lot to talk about. No. Yeah, but anyway, Alex. So just to update everyone, you've been working hard on your various exams and coursework and stuff. You're still not finished, but you've agreed to join us for one night only.
Yes, I completed the first draft of my final assignment today, so I thought, well, I'll come and spend some time with you guys and have a nice night off.
What a privilege, what an honour, hey Reese?
It is an honour. It's just an honour to have him back.
Sorry, Reese.
Yeah, you notice I'm on mute, so you just throw questions at me, and I'm like, shit.
It's like when I'm doing like Teams meetings at work now, and if I can tell someone's not paying attention, I'm like, "What do you think,
I was
Dave?"
paying attention, just making sure my phone wasn't on vibrate. Because usually I throw it on the cushion behind me, so I can't hear it. And I was like, I've accidentally left it here. So making sure it's completely off. So
I've turned my WhatsApp browser off because I know Ben always gives me a stern look every time I get a WhatsApp message when it's open in the browser.
So the Discord ones are here sometimes, yeah. So that's why I closed Discord completely now on the.
It's just any distractions, any noise, get rid of that. Okay, into the news then. I'm going to start. So obviously we didn't do an episode last week. We just left it to you guys questing it out, which was a great episode. So if anyone's not listened to that, you should go and catch up on that. It was great to hear all the stuff that's going on. And even though it was a quest focus episode, there was stuff that I was going to talk about in the news last week, that like the Mannequin, because I think you mentioned, I don't think on the episode you weren't sure if it's coming, but I'm pretty sure it is coming to PSVR2 Mannequin. Sure it is.
They've not announced anything in like officially. It's still in App Lab at the moment, so it's not even fully released yet. This is not the final build. It's more of App Lab. It's like your tester type of thing, and essentially get your early access to the game. But at the moment, as it's running, I can't wait for the full release. I just want more maps.
I think, Laurie, though, I'm on your side with this. I think when it was very first announced, they did announce it that it was coming to PSVR2, just not when.
Some of the early stuff I remember mentions of, but again, they've went straight in and not ever mentioned anything since then, since doing the App Lab.
Because you can't test on PSVR2, essentially.
Even
I can see there is a Mannequin trailer with a PS logo in the thumbnail.
Okay. Good. They're just not mentioning it anymore.
But you talking about it, I was like, because it was on my radar already. But you talking about it, it sounds awesome. It sounds really fun.
It's a lot of fun. The more players they can get to it, the better. That's all I can say. It needs bigger lobbies, people just playing it.
So yeah, but it does mean, because we missed the episode last week, we've got 2 weeks of news to cover off now. So we've just got a big roundup of news, which is exciting. And then we'll talk about what we've been playing as always, and then we're going to talk about Stride Fates as our kind of main review topic of the show. So starting off with the news then, Wanderer has been, was it Wanderer? Is it Fragment of Fates? What is the full name? I don't know.
Yeah,
it's been delayed.
That's the one.
Okay, great. It's been delayed, sadly, from June to the 12th of September. So fairly chunky delay there, but I am very much keen for them to keep delaying it as long as, because this looks like something special, and they need to make sure they absolutely smashed this one at the park. I think it's probably mine and probably a lot of other people's most anticipated PSVR2 game at the moment, I think.
I'm really liking the comparison videos they keep sharing as well, of the Quest graphics and the PSVR2 graphics, because I think equally they're both looking pretty solid.
You not play this? Did you play it on Quest or?
I didn't play the original, no. So
I played the original.
No, by the time it came out, I kind of got a bit sick of the motion controls on the PSVR1. Unless you got perfect lighting in the room, they used to just kind of go off a bit. So it got a bit sick of it after a while.
Yeah, but it looks very cool. All the little videos they keep showing, it looks really good. So a little bit longer to wait for that, which is a shame. We might also be hearing some other details of maybe release windows for Behemoth. No news has been officially announced, but they did last week have lots of VR influencers. We were too busy, obviously. We couldn't make it down there. Too many exams on and stuff. But we left it to some of the smaller outlets to cover it for. But yeah, Behemoth. It sounds like that people have been hands-on playing the game, which almost kind of surprised me that they're actually at the point where they can be getting hands-on time to play the game. It must be. That kind of told me it was further along than I thought.
Yeah.
In fact, they're inviting
They've
people
been
to
very
play
silent, haven't they? So I was surprised by it as well, just simply how silent they've been to see people playing it soon. Yeah,
you get 3 or 4 people in. You'd expect this must be in a fairly playable, and we don't know anything about it. And they've not, obviously they've all signed NDAs, and we don't know even what sort of game this is. We've not seen anything apart from a very cinematic
early trailer,
teaser trailer, which doesn't show anything really about how the game's going to play. So hopefully, I think they all just said, "Oh, I've been playing this. Can't wait to tell you more soon." So yeah, another little tease. But yeah, and I wonder, because we are waiting eagerly for news of a big Sony PlayStation showcase. I wonder if this might feature.
That's why I'm back.
Yeah.
I'm here to announce it. That's it.
You saw the Sony showcase. He's like, I better come back just in case.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, Alex reckons he's back for 1 week only, but if next week they do the showcase and there's an Astrobot, we'll get him back again. But it's. I think like next week or maybe the week after, it seems to be when the expectation they're going to announce something will be for a showcase. There's been lots of rumours and heavy hints that it's going to be at the end of May. So yeah, and I think we expect to see at least 1 or 2 big high-profile VR titles. We hope in there.
Maybe we'll see some Behemoth in there. Maybe that's why they're trying to build up this little bit of hype around it to get ready for the showcase. Who knows?
Yeah, remind people that it's a thing. But yeah, well, we'll have to wait and see. But hopefully, not too much longer to wait. Wherever we see that, it's going to pop up again soon. Okay, next up, there's been announced loads of new games coming in. Some of them are already out, and some of them are coming soon. But I'm going to start with the Exorcist VR, which is going to be released on the 28th of May, so not long to wait at all. People listening to this episode, it's going to be a week or so after this episode drops. Now, Reese, have you actually had a chance to play this one yet?
Yes, I have. I've done chapter 1. That's literally, I jumped straight in, did the first chapter. It kind of puts you in a police station first. So this is one of the ones, again, that I skipped out on the PSVR1, just simply because, again, at that point, I got sick of the motion controls, and I hadn't picked it up on Quest, just simply because I hadn't done a Quest 3 update at that time. So I tried a little bit of it. It's very dark. Like, I think my mindset of when going into it, I was like, I've played Madison now. Nothing's going to scare me in a horror game now. I feel like Madison's weakened my barriers for horror games because I was just tense the whole time. I just don't think I think Madison's broke me. I think genuinely Madison has broke me. Like, I was like, she's playing it. I was like, I finished Resident Evil 7. This shouldn't be getting me, but it was just the loud noises. Again, the audio. For me, audio is the best thing to do in horror games, and the audio on this is on point. Like, just from pictures dropping off the walls to things, doors slamming and creaks. They're the things that just kind of keep, building that suspense. So I did the first chapter, had a couple of jump scares in that, and yeah, good, strong first impressions right there just from the first chapter. So I'm looking forward to playing a bit more of it. So
this is obviously a port of it was on PS1. PSVR1 originally.
Yeah.
It's got some improved visuals, haptics, and trophies and stuff. So, Alex, I'm going to do
trophies.
Trophies.
It's definitely got a platinum. I can tell you that for sure.
Well, I've actually agreed to play this one. I think the fact that they're only 45-minute episodic things.
First episode
I'm not going to have to play this for too many hours. So.
11 minutes for the first episode.
11 minutes?
11 minutes for the first episode.
Oh, I can do that. I can play it.
Yeah, you basically go around. I think you can miss things as well. There's certain things you've got to investigate. You've got to get case files. Then you go back to the police station. You can look at your case files that you found to each of these episodes. There's 5 chapters in total. So I don't think it's relatively a long game. But again, with horror games, it's really player dependent on how much you push on through to the point whether you can actually push on through, So, but yeah, strong first impressions.
I'll give it a go. I'm not looking forward to it. Don't like horror. Don't really want to play it, but I feel like I must try some horror games at some point. There's just so many horror games now on PSVR2. It's just crazy. Maybe we should do a best of horror games.
I'd be happy for that.
Well, I know you would, yeah. All of us agree to play one more.
Just Madison top. It broke me. There you go. That's
although I didn't mind Propagation Paris Hotel. I was very impressed by. So
yeah, give me a gun in horror games. I'm fine. It's like I say, if you've got a shotgun, nothing's going to scare you. But if you've got nothing in your hands, then I'm probably going to get a bit jumpy.
Fair enough.
Or spiders. Anything with spiders.
Yeah.
I've been hearing about your spider phobia. Arachnophobia.
There's nothing funnier than watching Reese in a game with spiders. It's the funniest thing you're ever likely to see.
Yeah. You played the Harry Potter. You played the Hogwarts game, didn't you?
That's
the spiders in that.
That's the thing. I'm fine with them on non-VR. I'm fine with them in real life. Spiders in VR? Nah, you've broke me. That's it.
Okay.
Can't do it. It's a weird one.
Okay. Next up, we have Spin Rhythm XD, which is a game that's coming to PSVR2 and PS5 and PS4. Wow. Coming everywhere. So it's a hybrid game. And this is kind of like a sort of a Beat Saber Guitar Hero type looking thing. Spinning stuff. It's like a rhythm action kind of dancing game, right? Yeah, that's coming on the 9th of July.
It's a very well thought of game. It's been out on, I think,
Switch.
Steam and Switch for quite a wee while, and I think on Switch it really landed pretty well. So I'm really looking forward to this. This is very much an Alex game, very much one I'll enjoy as long as it all comes down to soundtracks with games like this.
I do enjoy rhythm games, so I'm excited to play it. Anything rhythm based, I'll give it a go. I'm interested in the way it's done in VR because you literally have to spin as you with your hands on the little wheel. So I think that looks pretty interesting. And I also like the way that if you don't want to play it in VR, you can play it non-VR as well, which is always a good thing.
Yeah, I don't understand what your controller is doing. How you're spinning stuff.
There's like a wheel, and literally you have to. I'm assuming with your controls, you just grip and you spin with that. And then one of them, you have to spin it multiple times. So you have to spin in correlation with the colours that are coming towards it. That's the way it looks in the trailer. I've not played it on Switch. My Switch lays dormant on the countertop, so
that's fine. You can admit that here. Alex won't mind.
I'll admit that everywhere.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of Bop It. That's what.
Spin it.
I completely understand what you mean.
Yeah, and it's like a VR Bop It. That sounds cool.
VR. Why has no one done that yet?
Yeah, well, there you go. Another idea we just throw down to the development community.
We've got to stop doing this. We really need to approach people with these ideas.
Yeah. Well, York, we know you're.
York.
It's a bit of a departure. Have to make some sort of dystopian story attached to it. Anyway. Bop It. Anyway, it's not Bop It. It's Spin Rhythm. It's coming out the 9th of July. And like I say, very good reviews. It looks totally bonkers. I'm sure we're going to like it. It's got 10 out of 10 on Steam, so it's pretty good.
It's very well regarded. Yeah, I've heard nothing about it until now.
Just like you, Reese, well regarded. What about Snow Scout? Is that well regarded? Because that's coming to PSVR2 soon.
So with that one, it's kind of a mix. It's coming. From what I'm understanding at this point in time, is it will be coming to PSVR2 if there's enough interest. Hence why it's on the store to wish list now.
What?
That's what.
You can't do that.
That's what I thought as well. That's what I've. So when we posted out about it, everyone's like, "Yeah, it's coming, but only if there's enough interest." So this is from the developers that made Fusion Reactor something or other.
Yeah, Tuner Max.
Yeah, that one that Alex played that has a very long title that I can never remember. So it's from the people that made that. This is more of a story exploration style game. It looks like. So.
I like story exploration games.
Yeah,
That's my favourite kind of game.
Well, you should wishlist it then.
Lottie.
Yeah, go wishlist it. Let him know that do it right now. Let him know that you're interested in this. Get off your phone. Wait, off your phone. Right, we'll do the podcast. Okay. Yeah.
Make it your mind.
It looks pretty interesting. Again, like walking simulator type games and exploration games in VR can go one way or the other. They can either be too slow, not enough to keep you engrossed in what they're trying to tell. So depends how it goes. But it looks pretty cool.
I want all the walking sim games to come to VR. Okay. The Quest 2 version I'm just looking, it's got a review. Seems pretty decent review.
So, I'll have to check it out on Quest 2.
Seems fairly well regarded itself. I'm shocked. You just put a thing out there and they're not actually put it. Maybe we should just put the Bop It VR on the store and see how people wishlist it, and then we'll think, we'll go and make it now, shall we?
We've got to go through Sony's thing first and let them tell us if we're developers or not, you know?
Yeah, but to be fair, those people that did that game, what was that completely made up game with the people in the woods, somewhere in the woods? You know, it was that one that was complete. Everyone thought
it was
the
Kojima game.
Yeah, everyone thought it was Hideo Kojima, and it was just complete people
abandoned.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like the game.
Yeah.
It's been abandoned.
Exactly. Well, we could do that with Bop It VR.
Yeah, but doesn't have the same ring to it when we jump ship, does it?
We'll just start rumours that it's like Hideo Kojima is making a Bop It game. Yeah, because apparently if Snow Scout can do it, then why can't we?
Yeah, so I believe that's how it's meant to be going. He's just trying to gather interest for it at the moment, but who knows? Maybe it'll still come to. I think when you put it on the store, that you can still pull it from the store, because we have seen games previously be on the store and get pulled. I've seen games previously as well that I've bought that are now no longer available to be bought on PSVR2 as well. There's only two that I know of, and that's Chris Spain Heroes and whatever the other one they made. Which, yeah.
I wonder why they got pulled.
It's good they got pulled. Let's put it that way. But they can still pull games in the store and things like that. But I think it's not necessarily a bad idea from a developer coming from doing a Quest game to PlayStation to do something like this, because they obviously have to do all that work to get it onto the system.
Well, I'm not going to wishlist it because I don't think I've ever wishlisted a game in my life. But I wouldn't know.
Well, try to break that.
But I'm going to tell them right now. Anyone out there listening, I'm interested in this. So if someone wants to wishlist it on my behalf, that would be
okay. I'll wishlist it on your behalf. Can I wishlist twice? I'll go do it on the missus' account as well. There you go. There's two wishlists. There we go. Sorted.
There we go. Cleansheet is another game that's been announced whilst we've been away, and it's already out. And you've both been playing it, haven't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
I've played the PSVR2 one.
Okay, well, that's what we're here for. So,
Alex, what have you played?
Well, I've only played the Quest one in the past, to be fair.
Oh, well, that's all right. It's the same thing, isn't it? It's not.
It's ultimately the same thing, and I think the key thing to say about this is, and I think they do a good job of explaining this themselves, it's not really a game. It was built as a tool for goalkeeping training within football teams. Like, it was built as a simulator for goalkeepers to improve their reflexes and improve in their goalkeeping skills. And they've adapted it to make it into a bit of a game. It's a good, fun experience. It's got some nice features to it. They've added some DLC. I'm not sure if it's in the PSVR2 version yet, where it's like Brazilian, like street football and stuff like that. And it's all about you imagining you're a goalkeeper. All these different set pieces start coming towards you, and it's just about trying to save the ball as it comes to you. And it's a nice little game to jump in and out of.
Don't think I could put it any better.
Would you recommend it?
Yes.
Yeah, well recommended.
I found it quite fun for the time that I played it. It's something that since playing it, I would jump back in and play it again, definitely. I also I think your biggest concern was the goal, like the size of it and having a room space.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the best things, that you can choose the size of your goal. Obviously, it would be more difficult to have a bigger goal and things like that, but it does mean you can still play it in a smaller play space, because then you're just kind of, barely stretching your arms out to catch the ball. So you can, play it in a smaller space. But no, I was enjoying it. I was enjoying grabbing the ball and then literally throwing it to block the other balls coming towards me as well. I was just messing about. It was a good little bit of fun.
How much is there? How much time would someone be able to put into it, do you think?
I think I played... I think it's quick shot, the mode I played, and it literally puts you in to kind of compete against the leaderboard. And I think I played for 15 minutes before all the goals went in. So you have to you get a certain amount of balls that can go into the goal, and then once they've all gone in, you foul. So I literally managed 15 minutes before I kind of started letting a few go in here and there. But that was on easy difficulty. I think you can go even longer. That was my first time playing, but I think bump up the difficulty and you might get
it's sort of game that people just jump into for like 20 minutes here and there.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's a good mini game.
Yeah.
And it has good, like, it's got like a trophy room where you get different things that you want to try and, like, if you're for that completionist type person, it's got like different trophies you can achieve within the games, like for completing loads of different scenarios and saving however many in a row, things like that, and it unlocks these different trophies. So it's good for jumping in and out of, and good if you're one of these people that want to go and try and achieve everything. So there's plenty of game in there.
Imagine it's pretty good.
Plenty of experience.
Imagine it's a pretty good party game as well for people, because like you could just give it to a mate and everyone knows what to do. You don't have to explain the rules.
It's one of them games as well that I don't think would kind of bring on any motion sickness for people. I'm not going to say everyone won't get motion sickness, but I feel like it's one of the ones that won't bring it on for many, because you are standing in one position really. There's not really any movement inside the game other than what you're doing in real life. So like you said, it would be good for a party experience. But yeah, overall, I think it's pretty decent for what they're doing. They do what they've set out to do, and it's a lot of fun.
It's just got me thinking. Given that FIFA or whatever it's called now is like the biggest release every year. Like every year, people they love the FIFA games. What's it called now? Like
UFC.
That's it. Yeah.
Doesn't have a good ring to it, does it?
No. Everyone knows what I mean. It's FIFA. That and or Championship Manager. Like a VR version of those, and you could play FIFA. Obviously, it's not going to work. You can't be every player in first person, but you could be the goalkeeper. That would work. Or just have a Championship Manager where you could just play in VR as the manager in the dugout. That would work. That'd be cool.
I mean, after playing basketball in VR, I'd be up for playing football in VR.
Yeah, well, I mean, someone could make it work, I'm sure, but it'd just be like quite hard, wouldn't it? You'd have to you'd be jumping around all the time. Maybe if it's 5-a-side, I suppose it'd be alright, but yeah. Anyway, Cleansheet, out now. Another one that's out now, announced and released straight away, is Thief Simulator VR. This has got some other subtitles as well that I don't know, but Thief Simulator.
Greenview Street?
Green Street, something like that.
Yeah. Very eloquently put there, well done. So yeah, and Reece, you've had a go on this one as well, haven't you?
Yep, done the first mission and a little bit of the next one. It does have a story element to it, which basically the story side of it is some dude over the radio telling you to go to certain houses and nick stuff. That's pretty much it.
So are you a wrong in this game then? You're
the thief who's been not broken out of jail, but I believe it's bail, or he's just been let out for some odd reason. I'm not really too sure. And his mindset is, I'm going to go straight back into the game and start stealing again.
Oh.
So it's all pretty much set in the night. I believe there is some missions during the day, but from the ones I did were all during the night. So you have to go around with a torch, try and check all the windows, make sure they're locked or not. If they're all locked, then you can smash them with your trusty crowbar. Go in there, steal all the stuff that's of value: toasters, TVs, kettles, whatever has some value to it. Mm-hmm. And then you pretty much get out of there without getting caught. Or if you do get caught, the police get called and they'll chase you. But when you've kind of stole what you need to, you go in your car, you drive off, and you actually have to do the drive as well. Do the gears for reversing and drive, which was pretty cool. I like that side of it. And then just drive out, and you go back to your garage. And in your garage, you can upgrade, get tips for your next mission. Buy more equipment such as lockpicks, glass cutters to make it so you can get in without getting detected. Because obviously, the sound you make, if you're more loud, people hear you walking around the street. So it does kind of add this more layer to it. But once you've stole the stuff, you go flog it all at the pawn shop, and then you just do it over again on the next mission. There are some other missions there where they all ask you to just go into a house and just break a load of stuff because somebody's asked you to do that as a job, and you get more payment for that as well. But yeah, is
it like a kind of a puzzle stealth game where you have to sort of work out how to get into? No,
not really puzzle. No, I mean, because it's again, it's one of the games is with the much you want to put into it. Like if you want to just go into a house and just smash the window and go through that way, then you certainly can. That's definitely what you can do. But if you want to, I don't know, take this profession, if that's the word for it, to the next level, then you can try and lockpick the door, find the key that may be hidden around the area, and then, go in that way without anyone knowing that you were there is something you can do. But I think most people would just smash it with a crowbar, go in, steal the shit, and run out is the best way of putting it. But yeah, it's enjoyable, but there is a few little issues here and there. But I believe the team are working on putting patches out. They've been doing a few over the week that it's been out. They've added a few in to kind of iron out some of the issues. I did notice a couple of little frame drops. They were quite prominent to the point where it felt like a big stutter. So it surprisingly wasn't when I was driving. It was during the tutorial. I had this big frame drop, and I thought the game froze, and it didn't. It just carried on moving again.
Yeah, frame drops in VR.
Yeah, they're the worst ones. That's the one thing I can't get behind, and kind of not mention is that a frame drop is enough to make people go sick in VR. So yeah, it didn't happen a lot, but there was one big prominent one that was enough for me to go, oh, that's not good. But no, so far what I've played, I've enjoyed it. I'll definitely go back in and play some more because it does have that kind of gameplay loop that I think people will enjoy.
Fair enough. Cool. Okay, another game that's been announced and released is Mecha Party. And Reese, I thought of you with your love of that other mech game that came out recently. This is like a rigs type thing, I believe, isn't it? It's like a online PvP type battling mechs type things.
I've not played it yet. I watched some of the trailers, and I feel like the trailers don't really sell it for me. They look like very situated, but from when we mentioned it on the Twitter, people kind of chimed in. Some of them said they played it when it was on Steam Early Access. Some people seem to be enjoying it. Some had some other views and things like that. I think I'll pick it up at some point and definitely give it a go because after playing, big shots, I do want to experience more mech games where I'm inside of the mech.
Big shots, that's it, yeah.
Big shots.
Yeah, well, graphics look nice. Looks like nice.
It looks quite clean.
Screenshots look quite nice. But yeah, PvP online, nah.
Yeah. Nah. So I was going to ask you because I thought that would be your type of game, really.
Nah, no chance. So moving on. This one, I can't get over how shit this name is. Shave and Stuff is out now. Shave and Stuff. Go on then. Let's talk about Shave and Stuff. I'm presuming this is a game where you shave and do stuff. What's it all about? Come on.
It's very big on Quest for the obvious reasons.
Is it like a job simulator type, wacky type, fast type game?
Oh, I don't know. I've never played it on Quest. It was one of them ones that was just a bit too... I mean, I am tempted because you can do tattoos on it as well, so I think that would be quite funny to do. But yeah, it is pretty much a client comes in and you shave their head how they want it to be. But when you said Shave and Stuff, terrible name, pretty much all of their games are something and stuff. So you've got pets and stuff.
Okay. Right.
So it does seem like
there's a joke there.
Yeah, I think it's something in house there. Definitely
it's like
with that one.
Like what the bat and what the
So, but no, because I had a little joke to myself about just like how they come up with these ideas of their names. They must say one word and just go and stuff. That'll do. So
yeah, fair enough.
But
it's so you're a barber and also tattoo master. So you like a tattoo or two, don't you, Reese?
Yeah.
You're into your tattoos?
Yeah.
You ready to go tattooing anyone?
I've tried tattooing on fake skin before. I've never actually tattooed.
There's a story here that
I can tell you the story, but very briefly, if you want. I went into a tattoo shop to get a tattoo, and somebody there was an apprentice, and they said, "Do you want to have a go?" And I was like, "Sure, why not?"
They have fake skin to practice.
Yeah, it's not like it's more like silicone in a sense, but they usually what a tattoo artist. Usually a tattoo artist would tell their apprentice to tattoo to a banana or an orange because the skin on them is more durable than fake skin that you can buy to practice on, basically.
There you go.
But they had a flashlight in the back, so they just said use it.
Wow. We've missed you, Alex. Alex, would you let Reese tattoo you?
Of course. Why not?
Oh, he did. I didn't tell you what happened to the fake skin, did I? I tattooed too hard. I cut the fake skin in half. But yeah, do you want me to tattoo on you?
Aye, go for it.
Yeah.
Swastika could happen. Cut me in half.
The practice makes perfect. So, okay, Shave and Stuff out now. We'll get Reese to practice tattooing.
Yeah, I'll have to pick that up and give it a go.
You've got the most experience when it comes to tattooing stuff. So. Yeah. Give it a go. Report back. Okay, that's it. So loads of new games that have just been out. So another huge bump, a couple of weeks for the store. Although no biggies, but lots of stuff to keep people busy there. Probably, I say Exorcist VR is probably seems to be the highlight out of all of those, or maybe Cleansheet. I don't know. Another thing that was spotted finally is VR Skater. Just popped up on PS Plus. if you have PS Plus Premium and you get your game trials, you can try out VR Skater.
I can now finally try it.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's good that they're remembering that PS Plus and VR2 could go together like quite nicely.
They've done it with a few. I think I say a few.
There's a few.
I saw Moss's now, and I believe Townsman was at one point, so I don't know if it still is. And obviously, we had that time where Humanity came to it as well, where that was like the first, the drop when you could play it. But that was a hybrid game, so I don't know if we can really. They will consider that.
Yeah, I'm still very salty at the fact that there's not. I'm probably going to cancel my PS Plus. Although it's handy for playing multiplayer games with you guys, I guess. But yeah, it's
just drop the tiers.
There aren't free, but even on the tiers, the free monthly games, there should be a VR one. They used to be, right? There was to be Vita games.
Yeah, I remember there was. So on the PSVR 1, there was a 1 year where they added one PSVR 1 game every other couple of months, and then there was also this one time, I believe it was during a stay-at-home collective for COVID, and they dropped. I think it was like 6 or 7 PSVR 1 games that you just for you to download.
Yeah,
I think I had about 3 of them at that time, but I believe Paper Beast was one of them. I'm sure. I'm trying to think.
Yeah, I've got a lot of PS1 games in my PSVR 1 games in my library.
Just
one. Yeah, I've got that. Just that I claimed for free.
That's how I got Blood and Truth. That was one of the PSVR 1 claims through PlayStation Plus. The same with Riggs. That was another one. And again, it's like we said before. These were games that I downloaded prior to actually having the PSVR 1. So when I got it, I had games to play, and they were both great games. So they do need to consider this.
You just instantly lower the barrier of entry for people because they think, well, I could buy the headset. I've got half a dozen games to play on it now from day one, and it's not cost me anything. So, and I might as well pick up the headset because I've got these games that I can't play without it now. So,
come on, Herman, show your worth.
Such a no-brainer. Yeah. Anyway,
we need something.
Okay, let's move on. What have we been playing? We talked about Exorcist. Talked about Cleansheet. Reese, you've been playing anything else? You have. Go on, tell us what.
What have I been playing? I've forgotten. I've played
Sherlock
so many
Holmes?
games.
Sherlock Holmes?
Yes, Sherlock Holmes. I played a little bit of that. So that one is an escape room type of game. I've played it before. They're doing a hotfix at the moment, which I'm going to mention for a lot of more of the veteran VR players. At this time, when this podcast, maybe still when this podcast comes out, the game is only teleport movement and snap turning. There is no full locomotion, no smooth turning. So as people know me, that's an instant for me with VR games. So I played a little bit of it. It's a very, pixel style game, very Minecraft blocky, and it's voxel, is it what they call it, voxel art. So it's a very much that you should go around finding things in the room which will lead you out of the room to unlock more. So I have been speaking to the developer a little bit, giving them a little bit of feedback here and there on some of the stuff, some of the bugs that I've found while playing it, and for them to fix, because they are a team of 2. They have been working on it, and obviously it's the same with any type of play testing. The more people that play and feedback on it, the way it's going to be. Unfortunately, it's now at the point where people have to buy it to try and get this fixed. But I think it has potential to be something. But at this time, I think for me, with the amount of other VR games, I think it's just going to be one of them ones that people just could go, nah, what's the point? So I'm hoping when the smooth turning, full locomotion comes in, some more little fixes here and there, I think I might sink some more time into it to actually finish it. But I think the actual colour, the art style, things like that's quite nice. But at the moment, I haven't played it. I'll be waiting until the hotfix comes in for the smooth turning and full loco.
Fair enough. And you've picked Crossfire back up again.
Yes, I jumped back in. So every now and then I've jumped in on the weekends with that with Gritty. Just simply because I'm still trying to get the platinum on it, and I need someone to drag along for the. I need someone to drag along for the co-op missions. You can do them solo, but they're bloody boring on their own. So they just drag on. So I bring in our American friend Gritty, and he helps me through them. Even though we run into a lot of bugs and glitches here and there, we all spawning with no guns, and you can only throw grenades. But yeah, we just push on through. We do like a chapter section, so like 8 missions at a time, and then we call it there. No, still enjoying it. It's one of them games where I think I prefer this solo side of it more than I think the co-op missions. Maybe they added too many. It's now getting to the point where it's just dragging.
Yeah, there's a lot on there.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, and Alex, I've been seeing your TikToks. You've been playing some golf.
I have been playing some golf. I wish I'd been playing this in the PSVR2 because it does feel like it's made for PSVR2, and hopefully it will come.
So this is ultimate swing golf.
I feel
ultimate
like
swing
fit
golf.
deep in on the PSVR2. Definitely, it would get deep in there.
It is deep in there. But yeah, this game is it's wonderful. Like I played so recent. I played one night last week, and we just did a few holes, and it's just if you take walkabout mini golf, and it's not walkabout mini golf, but it's more akin to walkabout mini golf than say like something like Golf Plus and that kind of golf simulator. It's that kind of cartoony style, and it is your Hot Shots golf, your everybody's golf, like you remember on the PlayStation. That is
it's the
same developer.
Same developer. It's basically it's everybody's golf 2 or whatever number it is, but it's just new name because it's not on PlayStation anymore.
I'd say it's a good middle game between Walkabout and Golf Plus when mentioning it for like it's literally the greatest in between them two that you can get.
And I think the biggest surprise to me is how good it looked, particularly on the Quest. It's done really nicely. The settings are really nicely. Like it's got some nice features. I was really surprised at how good the grass feels. Like when you're sitting and you're waving the club about and watching the blades of grass like move with you.
We got distracted way too easily on that game.
Yeah,
way
having
too easily.
the dolphins diving in and out of the water as you're going around the courses. The little like crabs and stuff crawling around your feet, which will move as you hit the ball. You'll get like dragonflies landing on the ball. Little birds that will fly into you. Little rabbits that come over in the course. Like I was playing it then with Paul VR Realm, and this rabbit, he literally got a jump scare from a rabbit that was driving through as he was about to hit his ball. It was one of the funniest things I've ever seen. As well as when he 5 shots in a row, he managed to go out of bounds off the tee 5 holes in a row, and I thought that was incredibly impressive. I've never seen someone with such a squint aim. I think he ended that round of 9 holes at 28 over.
Wow.
It was quite impressive.
I need to face Paul and just see
who's
the worst player at golf between us. So, yeah.
The one thing I would say, though, is it really highlights some of what I would say is the flaws of the Quest compared to the PSVR2.
Oh, really?
And it's things like when you're playing, and not flaws because that's unfair, but say if you're playing Walkabout Mini Golf and you hole a really good putt, then you just hit your button to record what you've just done. Because you're like, I want to see that. In the Quest, you can't do that. Like, it's not recording what you're doing. You need to have been recording as you're playing. So you can't say, and I hold this really, really long putt. And I was very impressed with myself. And I wanted to save it and I couldn't. And I'm like, that's rubbish.
It never happened then.
It did happen. I have 2 witnesses.
Okay.
But yes, it's very good.
I will agree with you there on that setting. I think they should add it so you can at least do like a 1 minute back record or 3 minutes at least, just to kind of get that thing that you would have missed.
So I don't think this probably will come to PlayStation VR, sadly, because I'm surprised because Everybody's Golf, well, that was a Sony published game that was published by PlayStation, and I didn't realize they made a Switch game or an Apple Arcade Easy Come Easy Golf that went to Apple Arcade and then was ported to Switch. So it seems like they've kind of moved. They've obviously had a falling out or something. I don't know, but it's mad really when you think they made so many Everybody Golf game and that was on like Vita and every PlayStation generation seems to have Everybody's Golf.
Even the PSVR
one. I'm surprised
one.
that wasn't like why they didn't acquire them at any point to just have them, because that would have been such a no-brainer to have as a VR launch title almost, or to have in development for PSVR2, given that Everybody's Golf is such a long-standing, famous PlayStation franchise, but obviously not anymore.
It is a shame.
Oh well, it's Quest gain, I guess. So.
Definitely a gain, but I will say it is a shame as well because I think some of the like the further distance, scenery. I think some of that would look a lot better on the PSVR2, just the field of view and things like that. And even more distraction from the blades of grass that you could see on the PSVR2. But yeah, I think it is a real big shame because it is that more in-depth professional style golf game that you would get, because obviously PSVR2 does have Golf Plus. So I feel like it would have a place on PSVR2 really nicely. So
I mean, Everybody's Golf would have a place on any PlayStation.
Yeah, I mean,
hardware.
Just not as much anymore, it seems.
Oh yeah. Obviously something's happened there, isn't it? But never mind.
Permanent fix that, won't it?
Yeah, new gen in charge. We'll see. See what's coming. Maybe we'll find out at the showcase next week.
Yes.
Alex, have you been playing? Sorry, go on.
All I was going to say is absolutely recommend it to anyone with a Quest, though. Must buy, I would say.
Completely agree. 100%.
Cool.
Thumbs up.
And have you been playing anything else, Alex? Quest or?
I've been very little, to be honest.
Well, you've been working, so if you're too busy for podding, you're too busy to play fucking VR.
I've been very strict to myself. I mean, look, there's even still a box of Lego behind me, unopened, that's been there for over 2 weeks.
What is it? What have you got?
It's a TIE Interceptor that they released for May the 4th. I mean, I have been really good. I've been well behaved, playing very, very little and doing the work that I was supposed to be doing.
Are you going to get that £400 Big Eye of Sauron tower thing?
Yes, I have.
You see how happy that thought makes Alex.
I have signed off to purchase that.
So it's been agreed.
I don't know if you ever remember. I think it was maybe about 7 or 8 years ago. They released one of the towers, and it was a Lego set that was kind of similar.
No, I don't.
And I never ever bought it, and I regretted never buying it. So when I've seen this one, I'm like, no, yes, I'm having this. I'm absolutely having this.
It will go well next to that fucking massive Rivendell behind you as well.
Yeah. So what I'm going to do is just so the cabinet that's there where Rivendell is on, I'm going to buy another one for the other side, so that we can move. We're having a rejig for some more Lego, and then the TIE fighter that's up there next to that ship, the pirate ship, that's going to go next to the Interceptor on the top of the other side, and then Rivendell will shift along a little bit, and that will go upside down.
Got it all planned out. Got it all planned out.
So
Lego corner done.
Yeah,
you got R2D2, haven't you?
Yeah, he's just there.
You can literally see him right there, Reese.
No, I can see. I can only. I can only see it cuts off half the camera. I can only really see your faces since it showed the full length for me.
On full length,
so
you can see him. So he's just there.
Is it B8, the little circular one? Is it
BB8. He's just beside BB8.
Yeah, I can only see BB8 on my camera. I only asked.
BD1's up there as well.
Whenever I see.
Anyway, go on.
We're talking Lego podcast coming soon.
It serves me right.
Yeah.
It serves me right now. I've taken.
You did ask. Yeah.
But it's my fault, I was going to say we did play some Blacktop hoops. That was the only other game we really jumped into, and that was a lot of fun.
Was that the basketball game?
That was the basketball game. That was we both I think finished playing it and instantly said to ourselves, "This is a Ben game." It was just a lot of fun. It was silly. So it was me, you, Paul, and Fun Culture playing it. We all jumped into that, so it was 2v2, constantly just switching the teams around, and we was absolutely howling. Paul kept jumping, in real life. Alex looked like he was rotating in real life while playing this thing. I just can only imagine if you had a video of yourself, you'd be moving around your whole room. But no, the physics of it, the basketball physics, literally just bouncing the ball, dribbling with it, to even doing like slam dunks, it just felt really good. It was a great laugh, and we had a lot of fun playing that.
See, games like this and Quest, I just want to, if I had like a room in my house, I could turn into a holodeck and just have it completely empty. So you just don't have to worry about anything. That is what I need for really embracing VR, because I'm just so mindful of stuff around me.
I think Alex threw me the ball and I went back to reach it and I fell over on my sofa while leaning back to grab it. So it's one of them ones where it's just like, I was like, I got it. And I was like, oh shit, I fell over. I haven't got it. So a lot of fun.
It's probably also worth noting now that unfortunately my Quest is a wee for repair. So it's going to be back to Meta. So when I was playing, so I've noticed this maybe the last month or so, that something's just not been quite right in how it's set in the floor. And when I was playing
the flip,
Blacktop hoops a little bit, and particularly when I was playing the flip, when we were all trying to play the flip a while ago, it had me up in the sky and all the guys were on the floor, and I just kept being in the sky, and it just would not reset itself. And then in Ultimate Swing Golf, it kept putting me at an angle, and it was really making me want to throw up. So something has gone off in the sensors, that it's just not positioning the headset right. So unfortunately, it's a wee to get fixed.
Were they all right about that process? Was it quite smooth?
Other than the fact that people have printers to print labels these days, and like, who has a printer? Like, no, we live in a paperless world.
Laura, you have a printer, don't you? Yeah, I have a printer.
Of course you do.
Thank you. Cool.
Yes, well, you shouldn't be expected to have a printer.
No, you're right. It's pretty. Yeah, you don't need one.
Most places will say sign this, and they'll bring a label with them. Just slap it on the box. Some places don't even do packaging anymore, do they? Just put a label on the box. Like,
Most places, they email you the QR code, which then you get to the parcel shop and they scan the card and prints off the label.
Exactly.
Or they come to your door and you show them your phone, they scan it on your phone. It's the same. Yes, it's odd.
Okay, anyway.
Let's move on because
don't get me started.
Yeah,
parcel
podcast coming soon.
We're becoming grumpy old men here. Come on,
yes.
Let's move on to our main topic of the show. But before we do, remind everyone that if they'd like to support us, they can give the pod a sub on whatever service they're using. And if watching on YouTube, please remember to give us a like and subscribe, and leave some comments too, because we always like to read those. You can find us on Twitter at CrossbuttonVR, and also head to our Discord. Get a link for that in the very episode you are watching or listening to, and join in with the chat. And anyone that would like to pick up some lenses for your VR headsets, you can do so at VR Rock or VR-rock.com for your prescription lenses, and you get 10% off using the code CBVR and free worldwide shipping as well. So yeah, anyone thinking about getting some lenses to help see, always very important. VR-rock.com. Cool. Let's jump into the main game I've been playing this week, and that's Stride Fates. Ooh, well, this one. I was excited by this one. I really was. I've got to say, I am somewhat. In fact, yeah, you hyped me up for it, Reece. You gave me lots of reasons to look forward to
false hope.
Trailer looked awesome. Trailer looked awesome. You told me it was awesome, and yeah, it's a bit rough, I'm afraid, on PSVR2. And I'm gutted. I'm really gutted for him because I think it's a cool game there somewhere, but the execution of it on PSVR2 is not really good enough. It very, very last gen. It's one of the worst looking games. Like the resolution on it is like shockingly bad.
Have you played it since the update?
I'm not sure. When was the update? There's been a few of them there.
Did you play it since the last time you messaged in the group chat? Let's put it that way.
I can't remember.
Yeah, you know when you sent that. You sent because you sent
no. Let's say no.
Okay.
Let's say
okay, cool. Because they have done a little update to up the resolution, and it does make it look slightly better, but still, I would argue not enough.
I mean, the PS2 is a headset where you got like Red Matter, the crispest game I've ever seen, made by about 4 people.
Yeah.
And there's no excuse. The graphics on this game, they're not that. It's a nice looking game, sure, but I mean, it ran on Quest 2, right? So it's got all the power it should need. So yeah, but it's not just the resolution, because I could kind of live with that. I'd be like, whatever, I could keep playing it, but it's quite janky. There's some sections, climbing sections, where you have to sort of climb along the poles. A few times I just fell off for no reason. The picking up a knife and trying to stab people just feels like there's no one there. You're just kind of waving into the air, and sometimes it connects, sometimes it doesn't, which is really annoying because it kind of breaks the immersion completely, because you pick up a knife and you think, I'm going to really sneak up on this person.
Yeah.
I'm going to go stab in the neck, and nothing happens. And you're, for fuck's sake, and you stab them again, and then they see you, and then you just like chasing off this person,
stabbing their head, doesn't it? Like
it's just like, what is this? Like, it should just be really satisfying. Like that sounds really, really grim there with me to just mime that out, but it should just be such an easy thing to do, and yet it just you stab someone and nothing happens, and it's just like, oh, for God's sake. So every time it does that, I'm just reminded that I'm playing a badly optimized game. Sadly. It's like everything about it. There's so much of it that's really cool, and then there's bits of it that are like, the voice acting in parts is really well done and really interesting, and the interplay between your character and the handler lady, who appears like a VR hologram for no reason whatsoever. She just appears as a hologram randomly. There's no explanation as to how she does that. I don't know if I missed that.
I find it funny as well, because she never used to have a mask. She never used to have a mask on in previous updates.
COVID, I guess.
There's a story behind it.
Air City, but she just sort of pops out, and sometimes the dialogue is just completely monotone, flat, and the bits where it sounds like bits where it sounds like there should be a bit of drama. What they're saying, it's just completely monotonous and flat, and you think, is this like been generated by a computer or something? And there's other bits where they're just throwaway lines, and they're quite characterful and engaging, and there's quite a good chemistry between them.
Yeah,
it's so weird. That's everything in this game. It's just the bits of it are really good, like the parkour. That's brilliant when it all links up and you start running around That's really cool, and I love it. You can slow motion down at any point and pick out shots. That makes you feel really, really powerful, really cool, really satisfying. And then you can sort of unslow mo it back into the parkour. So yeah, when you get into the flow of it, it's really good. But it's just hard to maintain that flow when there's just things that just don't work quite properly.
Yeah.
Also, shout out for the worst picking up mechanic that I've ever kind of seen. You have to point at something, press a button, and then press another button to pick something up, and then the objects kind of float into your hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, and sometimes you try and do that, and then rather than picking the thing up, you just grab the table that the thing is on, which is just really annoying. So I'm doing that all the time, and sometimes because it thinks you're then trying to parkour off it as well, so you end up bouncing off of the thing. And I'm just like, I just want to pick up the fucking ammo. But yeah,
it's awful when you put something down on the table as well to try and organise what you're holding in your hand. You put like, a gun down, and then you. I'll pick the gun back up now, and then you grab the box. I don't want to grab the box. I want to grab the gun back, so I can actually, it gets frustrating. So
and in the trailer, they're doing all cool shit. They're like throwing the knife, picking it up, so it's like down. It's like there's no fucking way you can do that in this game. Actually, I don't believe it. I do not believe.
Yeah, that's done in a background build right there. I tell you, that trailer that's done in the build that they haven't released. But no, I'll agree with you. This, I am, very disappointed. I love this on Quest. And when I say I love this, yes, I know there's some issues with the game, but I think it's a game that I played quite early on when I bought the Quest, and it was something I was excited to play, so I had already had that hype around it. I hadn't played the previous Stride game, so I did eventually end up picking it up, which I refunded at a later time just because it's dead and there's no reason to have it now. It's just, So after playing Stride Fates, I was really hyped to see it on the PSVR2. Better graphics, better resolution, haptics, everything like that, just to give it this really big oomph. And it doesn't hit. It's one of the worst ports I think I've experienced in this generation. I think it's the only way I can put it. And this is the thing, I've spoke to others as well, and we, like, people that have played the Quest version and now this version, agree that the Quest version is the better version than this one. It's less janky. It feels heavier. Like, I'm following an argument with it that with this game, it's only as fun as the effort you put into it. Like, if you want to make yourself feel like a badass in it, you can, but you have to put that effort into it. If you're going to walk around and just push people over, which you can certainly do, it's not going to be fun. There's ways to kind of exploit the system and the game, the way it's been developed. If you want to do that, that's fine. You're not going to enjoy it. But there is a way to enjoy it, and that does require you to put effort in. However, with the PSVR2 version, when you're putting this effort in, it doesn't all kind of go together and make you feel like a badass. It goes together, and then jank hits, and you go, for fuck's sake, why couldn't this be cool? Every time, it's even climbing, your hand will then go inside the wall and grip inside the wall, and you're like, well, that's just ruined the immersion there. I didn't feel cool climbing this wall. And it's one of them things where I don't know whether they would, if they took more time with it, or whether they just had to kind of scrape away some of the stuff they had made and change some things to make it better. Even things like the way the sense controllers work on this game, they don't feel centered. So when you're aiming the gun down the sight, it feels very offset to the a certain.
Yeah, I couldn't get my aiming right at all.
So yeah, and it's not you. 100%. Anyone that plays this, even if you're not a fan of shooting games, it is not you. Okay, this game is incredibly easy to do pop shots. Shoot from the hip, aim quickly, and hit a shot. They somehow have made it so the controllers do not feel centered and they do not feel right. It's odd. So that's why you'll just end up using the shotgun, running around with that. Whereas playing on the Quest, you can run off walls, quickly aim and shoot someone in the head, and you feel like, oh, mate, I just done that. You wouldn't, again, going back to what Alex said, you can't record it because it's just happened and you've missed out on that opportunity. But it's one of them games where when you put the work into these really cool shots, it's great. But yeah, I don't know what they've done, and it's upsetting because I'm hoping with more updates and more fixes to it, they can get it to where it needs to be. Because I do remember the release of Stride Fates and the Quest 3 being quite janky, and a lot of people complained about certain things, and they fixed it at a later date and redid the voice acting, added a mixed reality mode, and made it a lot better than it originally was. Again, it's still a game that's not the best game ever made. I don't think that's what they ever set out to be. But it's a game that can make you feel quite cool, especially when you're grabbing an enemy, stopping them from shooting, shooting at somebody else and then taking out that other one. It's, like I said, it's the work you put into it was how cool it's going to be. But yeah, just on the PSVR2 one with the issues at the moment, that work you put in doesn't give you that reward, that satisfaction that you should be getting from it that I got from the Quest version. So all the hype that I've given it from the Quest version, it just feels like it's just been let down, sadly.
Yeah, it's a real shame. It's another one as well that I just give me the game without the shooting and the stabbing people. Like I don't.
That was the first try.
Shooting stuff, but there doesn't seem to be that. That wasn't much to it, does it? But give me like a quite story driven, because the parkour is really fun. That bit's really good. It's the shooting and the melee combat that kind of doesn't work for me. And there's when you're doing the slingshot, you're chaining together moves over buildings, jumping and sort of scooching over things. It's great. You sort of slide under, jump over, do your little hook shot to do a little swing jump thing. It's great.
And it feels cool as well. Like when you do that, it feels really awesome, especially when you're like on a sky-rise building. You look down, you're like, I could fall to my death. That feeling of it is amazing. And it does feel really cool. But it's like you said, with some of the stuff, like even just the grabbing stuff, with that included into it, it just ruins what the cool moments in it. And like even with, I think it's the first time you have to kind of breach one of the doors and it takes you into that alternate world. Where you're hacking the rooms. Yeah,
that's all cool. Yeah, I love that. Yeah.
So on the first one, it tells you to pick up a health item to heal yourself. Well, I went to grab it and it sprung out of my hand and fell down into the abyss, and I had to restart the whole of that level just to redo that bit because it didn't respawn it. That right there that's game breaking in a sense.
Yeah, that's not good.
I had to restart the whole level just to redo that bit. That should have just respawned for me to pick up again.
I think I had exactly the same thing. It wasn't the health thing, but in that virtual space thing, I couldn't get up a bit, and then it just sort of glitched and transported me up there because I fell off, and it just moved me up to the next section. And I was like, "What the fuck's happened there?" But oh well.
Yeah,
it's a bit rough. And I don't know how much people are going to give it a chance to make it. It's always first impression that counts with this stuff, isn't it? So, but another shame.
I'd say let them cook a little bit longer before maybe jumping into it. But again, when they ported Dead Hook over, I found the Dead Hook version on the PSVR2 to be better than the Quest version. So, I mean, I don't know how they've messed this up, basically. I don't get it. I can't begin to fathom it. So, hopefully we'll find out. But either way, I just hope they fix it for people to find that enjoyment that I found from the Quest version.
Any final thoughts on Stride Fates, Alex?
No, just seems like a fairly ill-fated fort.
Yeah.
Alex's final thought is he'll buy it on the Quest.
For
the mixed reality mode.
Yeah, I love a bit of mixed reality.
Shooty, shite for Alex. Too much shooty.
Yes, that's it.
It is lots of shooting as well. Lots of shooting.
Just say it again, Alex. I've not heard it for a while.
Oh, you missed this from the news. Sorry. There's a mixed reality update for Cornhole.
What?
I did miss that, didn't I?
Yeah. Reese didn't even know that look at his face.
You tell me this when you've sent
when
your
I don't
quest
have
back.
My quest, Yeah.
Absolute monster.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you can't jump on it now. Oh well.
No.
Right, well, on that bombshell, thanks everyone for listening. And thanks, Alex, for joining us once again.
It's nice to be back. I missed you guys.
It's been absolutely amazing having you back. I've missed this.
Oh, bless you. Well, if you've enjoyed this episode, and you bloody better well have done with Alex here, we'd love it if you could please tell your family and friends all about us. And if you want to get more involved, please don't hesitate to drop into our Discord and say hello. I've been your host, Laurie. These two have been Alex and Reese, and we will see you again next time. Until then.
Or in a few weeks.
Well, yeah, in a few weeks. Thank you, Alex. That's the thing now.
Thanks for ruining it, Alex.
Until then, it's goodbye.